His Excellency the Vice President, ably represented by Dr. Dikbeolu, His Excellency the distinguished Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, His Excellency the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, distinguished senators, honorable members. Before I say distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is a stakeholder summit properly focused on the capital markets. In regulated sectors, they say the fear of your regulator is the beginning of wisdom. And so I have to signal out the DG of the SEC, Munir Gwazu, and of course, all other regulators who are here present. I will be combining the role of co-chairman and chairman, and on that note, I would like to express Alhaji Aliko Dangote's apologies once again. Dr. Senator Adeleke had mentioned them. He and I were actually meant to leave for Abuja this morning, but he had to stay back due to a big stomach problem. I was wondering how I could explain that a man of timber, caliber, and cement can have a stomach problem, but he does. Well, it is my pleasure here today to co-chair this momentous event, and I bring greetings from the National Council and Management Team of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, some of whom are here present. I would really like to convey our collective delight at the convening of this forum dedicated to realizing the potential of the Nigerian economy through proactive capital market legislation. I am optimistic that this forum will give rise to a deeper understanding of the opportunities for the capital market to support Nigeria's development. The compare did speak to the fact that people were looking serious. Well, most of the stakeholders here are stakeholders of the capital markets, which is down over the past 16 months. So we have good reason to look serious. And I must commend the National Assembly, both the Senate, of course, and the House of Representatives, for taking the lead in this regard and showing and signaling, indeed, from the moment of constitution of the Assembly, that the capital markets and indeed the overall economy is a point of focus. So we must look at issues of the economy over the next 2 days. The first thing that I would like to state is that there is only one panacea to our current problems, and that is growth, economic growth. Economic growth will address issues of employment. Economic growth will address issues of inclusion or the lack of inclusion. Economic growth will address issues of poverty, health. Economic growth will enable us run a budget that can build infrastructure and address and meet the teeming needs of hundreds of millions of Nigerians. So I believe that over the next couple of days, we will be looking at how the market can support infrastructure development through long-term development financing. We will be asking ourselves questions like, how can the insurance and pension sectors be made to mobilize long-term liabilities to fund long-term projects? Very important, and I believe that this is music to the ears of your constituents. A top priority for the markets, a top priority for our economy, is the framework that will enable us mobilize the vast wealth of domestic Nigerians. I mean, when I say domestic, we do have Nigerians in diaspora. I'm talking about Nigerians who live within our domestic territory. Billions, indeed trillions of Nigeria circulate through the informal sector unaccounted for. And this, of course, is a drawback on economic development. You wouldn't, well, I'm sure this statistic will not surprise you. 41 million Nigerian adults save at home. Save at home. In other words, they save, but they don't save using banks. They don't save using the capital markets. And if you begin to think about the savings power of the potential of mobilization, this runs into, at least ₹500 billion naira every year that can be, that can flow into the economy for growth. Now, realizing the potential of our domestic retail base is hinged on increasing financial literacy, in which the federal government can aid by leveraging the capital markets for social impact financing and promoting a national savings culture. In some countries in the world, the day you are born, actually, a securities trading account is opened for you on the day you are born, in your name. And there's no gainsaying that those who have accounts are empowered to create wealth. Growth without gains for the majority of Nigerians is not just inequitable, but it is unsustainable. And I believe that we will focus on this issue of inclusion over the next 2 days. Our youth population is growing by the day, and we must find ways, intelligent and innovative ways of engaging them. The Nigerian Stock Exchange continues to play its role in facilitating inclusive economic growth by empowering Nigerians through financial literacy programs and CSR initiatives. I think the power of technology for us is very key. And I have my mobile phone in my pocket. I dare say most people here have their mobile phones in their pockets. A day should come when hundreds of millions of Nigerians check their mobile phones for the price of their the value of their portfolio, the value of their stocks, and are able to move from one stock to the other simply by pressing their mobile phone. This technology is available today, and I don't see any reason why we cannot, over the next couple of years, put such power, the power to create wealth, in the hands of Nigerians. At the heart of the Nigerian Stock Exchange Transformation Program is corporate governance. We have introduced a corporate governance rating system for both the NSC and all listed companies in 2014. One of the things that we should talk about is the fact that quoted companies, listed companies, pay more taxes than companies that are not listed. Indeed, at the last count, I asked the management of the stock exchange to compute for me the taxes paid on an annual basis by quoted companies, and it runs into the trillions of naira. And if you think about our levels of non-oil tax revenue, this actually would equate to about 40% of non-oil tax revenue. And so the more companies we bring into the exchange, the more we boost our non-tax revenue as a nation. So a supportive legislative framework for enhancing the capital markets should look at the following things. One, we want, and as we have interacted with both the Senate and both the House of Representatives, and we were very well received, we have submitted various initiatives around laws that will create the enabling environment. These initiatives were taken very seriously. I must applaud, actually, and recognize the fact that both houses, in other words, the Senate and the House of the House of Representatives, have given critical attention at the most senior principal officer level to our request. But we now want to see the legislative agenda, how you are going to roll out over the next 3 years these laws that are critical for the enabling environment. We want to increase market liquidity. And one key area of focus is the appropriate legislative framework for demutualizing self-regulatory organizations such as the stock exchange to the greater benefit of the Nigerian economy. I will speak very forcefully on the next issue. Investors in economies are rational human beings. Investors in economies invest based on fact, empirical data, and on financial principles. Where the enabling environment, the legal framework, the policy framework does not suggest certainty in terms of the application of financial realities and principles, it creates uncertainty and volatility in the markets. And therefore, controls, capital controls and the like, inflexible systems and the like, tend to bring uncertainty into the market, as we have seen. And you can see the reaction of the markets to the signals coming from both the CBN as well as the executive arm of government towards the regulation of various sectors. And the market went up. This is a barometer of our economy. This is a confidence that comes with fair and proper rulemaking and economic governance. And therefore, we want you to follow through with the beginning of the changes that we are beginning to see. And I can assure you that the markets, the economy, investors will react and respond accordingly. I believe that the public and private sector should cooperate, collaborate, and partner. And this is key to the success of our economic and national development. The Nigerian Stock Exchange remains committed to joint engagement with the House of Representatives, with the Senate, and all government agencies, all capital market stakeholders, and the private sector to explore synergies that can emerge from complementary actions in both policy dialogue and practice. In the words of Henry Ford, a man that is attributed to contributing to the growth of the great U.S. economy, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. It is my hope that the dialogue and momentum of this gathering will be sustained to effectively support the integration of the capital market into public policy, to enhance the enabling environment for investment, entrepreneurship, and socio-economic change. I must thank the organizers of this forum. In other words, I thank the President of the Senate. I thank the Speaker of the House of Representatives. I thank your distinguished and honorable colleagues for putting this together. Indeed, the Joint Committees on Capital Markets Institutions must be applauded for this initiative. I wish us all successful deliberations towards our goal of repositioning the capital market to support Nigeria's economic recovery. God bless. Thank you.